Hi, this is Loretta. I'm filming a video on a mini album that I made. I used the Blue Fern Studios brand new Valentine's release called Blush. I absolutely loved this paper. It was so much fun to work with. So I hope you guys like this mini album as much as I do. On the cover, I didn't have much paper at all left from this kit. This was using a Scrapbooking With Me Boutique monthly kit, which I will leave a link to down in the description bar that will have all the information that you need for the boutique and also for the other design team members. So what I did for the cover, this was a corrugated piece of lattice work that was on the cover, and I just used my distress ink and distressed the edges of the corrugate there. I used a doily. You might can see it peeking out underneath there in the shape of a heart. This really pretty, delicate and feminine lace came in our kit. I used part of that to go around the edge of the doily heart just to give it an air of romance. This center heart was a part of the paper called Calling Cards. All of the Blue Fern lines that I've worked with so far has a sheet that is called Calling Cards, and it includes cut-aparts and journaling spots. What I did was I cut out this heart, and then I used it to trace hearts about 1/4 of an inch larger on the remaining design paper that I had. I'm going to try to turn this so that you guys can see. On the inside there you can see that I used some foam tape just to make these hearts stand up and be dimensional. So I love the way that turned out. In the center I used my paper piercer and punched holes. Then I threaded some baker's twine through a large needle and threaded that through and then tied a bow with it. The bottom of the paper has these little strips that are left over. On one side they are patterned, and on the other side they have the name of the line and the name of the paper. One of the names of the paper was Devoted. I cut that out, put it on chipboard, and popped it up on foam tape and used that as the title of my album. For the inside of my album, I used Genevieve. I don't know if you have heard of her, but if not, go check her out. She does template design work, which you then print onto your plain cardstock or pattern cardstock and use that to make designs for mini album. I used the Ultimate DIY series. She does have a whole series of videos where she shows you how to make very intricate and interactive albums. I didn't want this album to be so interactive, so I kind of did my own thing. That's because I just kind of wanted people who pick this up to have a look at it, to be able to figure out how to work it fairly easily. So at any rate, this is a double pocket page, this first layout here, and these just slip out and are photo mats. So there's that booklet, and then this one makes a slightly larger booklet. So, and I love the way that this works because it doesn't cover up the pretty design pattern paper, but yet you can still put your photographs in. So I absolutely love that about it. This next page is held together by a magnetic closure. I did that a lot in this book to keep the pages closed. So this just flips out and then flips open. And let's look at the next layout. Okay, and I love these designs. So what I did was too is I used my on the edge die for some of these fold outs just to give it a little bit of interest. And this one flips open a little bit off camera there, flips open that way, and then flips open this way. So, and then that's all held together again with the magnet. And I used a little bit of Prima Bling there. This came in our kit, this little pearl trim. And I did a video, I don't know, I guess YouTube hop probably a couple of weeks ago, where I showed how I did this circle. This particular mini album had a lot of different shaped pages, so I really liked that about it, and I thought it would be fun to work with. On this particular page, my husband and I got married in June of 1991, and then again in December of 2014. So this book is kind of going to be a now and then book, where I'm going to put some photographs from the first time we got married, and then some photographs from the second time that we got married. So I wanted to put those dates here. This is my husband and I's name, and then it says, "Grow old with me, the best is yet to be." So, and then when you turn that circle over, it's got, and a lot of you guys are familiar with this, so I won't read it to you, but it's got from 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 through 8 on there. And I just printed that onto, and I gave a little hint of how I do that. What I do is I use a just regular sheet of printer paper. I label where I put it in through the printer, like the top of the page, and then I run it through, and then I take my pattern paper that I want to print that on, and I use my ATG gun, and I adhere it over the top of the printing where I want it to print on my paper, and then I run it back through my printer. So I do that a lot. It's a pretty cool way to, and even on these templates that I used from the DIY scrapbook, it's a pretty good way to print on the paper that you want it to without winding up with a lot of extra scraps. So anyway, love doing that. Pull it over, and this just flips open. So, and it's got a large photo mat in there. And then flip to the next page, and this is an envelope, and it's held shut by a magnet again. So I probably will just put some information from our church in there. And then this is again held closed by a magnet, and it just opens up there. And it says right here, a perfect marriage is two imperfect people who refuse to give up on one another. So I just put some, just kind of some love sayings in there that go along with our marriage. And then this page here, it just opens up right there, and it again held by a magnet. And this says, wait for the boy who would do anything to be your everything. And I'll probably put a photograph of he and I when we first got married. And then you flip that over. I'm trying to get where you guys can see all of the layouts, because I really do think this came out cute. I absolutely love the design. I'm going to try to come in just a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Because I wanted you guys to see this piece of Blue Fern Studios chipboard. What I did to alter that was I covered it in gesso. I took 3 colors of pink acrylic paint, in a light pink, medium pink, and dark pink, and I blended those into one another for an ombre effect on that chipboard. And then I dried that with my heat gun, and I used a script background stamp over the top of all of it. And then I hit that with the heat gun because I used Stays On ink for that, so that I wouldn't have any I guess smearing or anything like that when I got ready to get over it, because I did go over the top of that with some Rock Candy Crackle paint by Tim Holtz. So I just wanted you guys to see how my process of how I altered that. So looks like I'm kind of getting a shadow in there. I'm sorry about that. At any rate, that page just flips open as well, and On the inside it says forever is a long time, but I wouldn't mind spending it with you. So then on this next page, this is just a belly band, and then this comes out, and this is a template from the DIY scrapbook that I was telling you guys about. I'm sorry, I've got my phone on silent and it's vibrating. So, but I won't worry about that while I'm filming this. Anyway, so that just slides right back in there and is caught by this heart right here. And then you open that back up again. These two pages kind of mirror one another. And again, here is another piece from that Blue Fern Studios chipboard that I did that same process on. And I just love how those turned out. So each of these, I just made a little pocket. And I loved this piece of paper in the design paper, and I did not want to cover it up. So I just made a photo mat. So, you know, I can do a now and a then picture. I won't pull that out because it's exactly the same. And then this is one of those corrugated pieces that came with the album, and I just painted that. So, okay, and then this is the next layout. It is the final layout. And again, I used magnetic closures. I just used some little Prima bling, and then I used this from the calling cards. That's the wonderful thing about Blue Fern Studios. The paper is just so unbelievably gorgeous that it's just so easy to work with. I mean, you don't really have to even embellish it a lot because it's just so pretty, you know, as it is. So anyway, this is held by a magnet also, and it opens this way, and then it has, oops, I'm off frame a little bit, and then it has some place for a photo, and then it has this that slides out. It's a photo mat so that I can put a picture, a picture, a picture, and that just slides back down in there. And I did forget to tell you guys that on this, I covered all of the pages with the design paper before I started putting the various layouts down. And I'll show you that here in just a minute when I turn the book over for the back. So this is the last page, and it does the same thing. It's held by a magnetic closure. It flips open this way and this way. And then this is another one of those little envelopes from the design. And I did this on a plain 8.5 by 11 cardstock so that you guys could see. I love it because it's already inked. The only thing that I would need to do after gluing this together is ink the edges that were not inked on the opposite side of the paper. So I really do love this design. I know I'll use it a lot. The Ultimate DIY Scrapbook, I know I'll use it a lot because it was really a lot of fun to work with. And so if you turn the book over to the back, you can see where I adhered the design paper to all of the pages of the book before I started. Alright, so that's it, you guys. Again, all the links to the boutique and the .com store will be down in the description bar. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave in the comments. I read all of your comments. I love you guys so much. It means so much to me that you guys care about and watch what I do. So until next time, bye now.